Good morning and welcome to Little by Little, a short time in God's Word. Today, March 4th, 2024, and we're going to be in 2 Samuel chapter 7. And this is something I shared at our church's last Wednesday of the month, day of prayer and fasting, worship and prayer night, not too long ago. And so I thought it'd be a good one to add into our time together as we're doing these 40 days of prayer and fasting, and recognizing we're a couple weeks in, and sometimes there's a lull, and we want to keep the momentum going, but the way in which we see David respond to the Lord before he hears and sees the results from the Lord. All right, and so 2 Samuel chapter 7, it's his prayer of gratitude for what God has said he's going to do. And what we want to take note of in this is, one, how David views God, and then two, the gratitude that he gives to God. And when we know who God is, gratitude is going to follow. And when those things are done, then number three, we're resting in the promises. So 2 Samuel chapter 7, we'll pick it up in verse 18. It says, King David went in and sat before the Lord and said, "Who am I, O Lord God? What is my house, that you have brought me thus far? It was a small thing in your eyes, O Lord God. You have spoken also of your servant's house for a great while to come, and this instruction for mankind, O Lord God. What more can David say to you? You know your servant, O Lord God. Because of your promise, and according to your own heart, you have brought about all this greatness to make your servant know it. Therefore you are great, O Lord God. There is none like you. There is no God beside you. According to all that we have heard with our ears. And who is like your people Israel, the nation on earth whom God went to redeem to be his people, making himself a name and doing for them great and awesome things by driving out before your people, whom you redeemed for yourself from Egypt, a nation and its gods." Verse 24, "You established for yourself your people Israel to be your people forever, and you, O Lord, became their God. And now, O Lord God, confirm forever that you have spoken concerning your servant and concerning his house. Do as you have spoken. And your name will be magnified forever, saying, the Lord of hosts is God over Israel, and the house of your servant David will be established before you. For you, O Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, have made this revelation to your servant, saying, I will build you a house. Therefore your servant has found courage to pray this prayer to you. And now, O Lord God, you are God. Your words are true. You have promised this good thing to your servant. Now therefore may it please you to bless the house of your servant, so that it may continue forever before you. For you, O Lord God, have spoken. With your blessing shall the house of your servant be blessed forever." So David's heart was to build a house for God. You see that at the beginning, and then God had to tell Nathan, tell him that's not going to happen. It's not necessary. It's not what I've called you to do. But instead, I'm going to promise you that your house and your kingdom will last, and your son's going to build. And so David's prayer of gratitude first just acknowledges who God is. He's the great and awesome God who has done amazing things. There's none like you. The Lord of hosts. There's no God beside you. You are God. And sometimes in our prayers and in our life, we forget who God is. Now, we don't really, but we live as if we do. And so acknowledging his greatness, his awesome deeds, the work of his hands, his redemption, his salvation, that's putting our heart in the right place so that we can then respond with gratitude and thankfulness. And David is full of it. Though it's not going to turn out how he expected or he intended, he's recognizing God's still in it. And he's thankful. And he's thankful for God and his promises. And so as you read through the Bible, as you spend time in prayer, know that God is faithful. He will keep his promises. And he's given us all kinds of promises. So acknowledge who he is. Thank him for what he has done, what he's going to do. And lean into and hold on to the promises of God. Till next time, keep growing little by little.